So now it's time for our top 5, but instead of this week, it's a top 10.
It's a top 10 because we're doing top 10 bars in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you're coming into town to see Route 66, to see the Bob Dylan Archives, to come to BOK Center and see some live music, work, whatever, if you're in town, if you're out of town. We have so many good bars in this town, we had to raise it to 10.
That's right, and this is your insider's guide to the top 10 best bars in Tulsa.
Aye, and so here we go.
We've had a lot of bars.
Number 10, Lefty's in Greenwood. Our friend Kajir owns Lefty's. It's a great bar. It's a great sports bar. They have a great ton of beers on tap and good food, good bar food. But more importantly,
like what I love about it is like it's one of the most diverse bars in Tulsa, where you're going to meet people from all over the city, all walks of life, all socioeconomic, status, race, ethnicities.
Yeah, and they have good jazz.
Yeah.
They have jazz. They're live jazz, and so it's a really interesting bar. It feels like an urban bar.
Yeah,
like if you were in Manhattan or Boston or something like that, you would all this glass. So you have this view, and it's great. And
it's in the historic Greenwood district where the race massacre happened in 1921, and where the baseball stadium is now. So come see a baseball game, go to Lefty's afterward.
Or soccer, same field.
Soccer.
Whatever.
So Lefty's number 10.
Right, good one.
All right, number 9 is the Colony.
The Colony.
The Colony, despite its, oppressor name.
It's an English pub. It's an English pub called the Colony.
I love it because it's one of the best places to see live music. They have live music every night.
It's a great place.
They have old style on draft, and they have this little special where they serve you like SoundPony drafts for $7. Yeah. And it's just one of the best deals in town to get for cheap beer. Yeah. They have a great pool table.
Yeah, I love the pool table because you can actually go play pool and hear the great live music at the same time.
Yeah.
It's an old school pub. And the reason it's number 9 and maybe not further up the list is location. For us personally, Midtown, and this is a little South Midtown for me, is a little too far away.
It's really the best one for me.
It's in the Ranch Acres neighborhood in Midtown, and I love it. It's got wood, and during the winter,
it's great.
During the winter, it's really cozy. They always have a fire in the fireplace, and then in the summer they've got a patio and stuff. So it's a great
pub. It would go up my list a lot farther had it been closer to my house. So location. All right, number 8, a classic, maybe the classic in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And that is Arnie's Irish Pub downtown. It is an amazing little pub, and it is small. But they have maybe one of the coolest little patios you'll ever sit on. It is a smoking joint, so if you don't smoke cigarettes, and we don't, it can be a little tough on us.
Go to the patio.
The patio is great, and it's got all this foliage growing up, grapevines growing up above you. So in the summertime, you're in shade. And they leave the door open oftentimes in the spring and fall, and there'll be oftentimes a random band of Irish musicians playing, or blues. So it's a lot of fun. It's a good pub.
And it's got shuffleboard. And that's in the Blue Dome district.
It's in the Blue Dome. It's literally the Blue Dome. It is in the Blue Dome, connected to it. And the other thing that's really interesting, or I think is cool, is I was a Charles Bukowski fan. That's the pub.
Which he is.
If you want to write poems like Charles Bukowski, go to Arnie's.
Yeah. All right. Number 7 is Mainline Bar, which is on Main Street in the Tulsa Arts District.
Yeah, it's a beautiful bar. Our friend Katie owns and runs that place. What we love about it is when they took over from some stupid bar, Blue or something before, the bar that left and abandoned that place left the 2 big screen TVs behind the bars. Instead of putting TV on or anything like that, all they do is they rotate art.
Yeah, photos of art.
There's no TV in that bar. So there's art all over the walls that are for sale. I've actually purchased a painting there that's in my living room. And you can have really good conversation there. That's what I love about it. And they too have live music.
They also have really rad furniture.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Very
eclectic, mid-century furniture that's fabulous. And
colorful.
Very colorful. Almost, like Art Deco type furniture. Yeah.
And it's always packed during our First Friday art art crawl is the first Friday of the month, and so I highly recommend, and tell Katie that we sent you.
Yeah, if you really just want to like go out on a date night and have a really like intimate conversation, that's the bar. That's the great bar. So, all right. Number 6, we got Mercury Lounge, 18th in Boston, the Boston district down there. That's one of the fun places to go to, actually.
Yeah.
Mercury is, for me, this kind of Texas Southern blues joint that it's just a place where you can see some of the greatest music, get your ass kicked, or have a great shot of Jameson.
Right.
Something like that's going to happen. It's a juke joint kind of place, man.
It is. A Jameson and a shot for $6.
Yeah.
Some of the most interesting, like, looking people and characters.
It draws the most interesting characters.
Not good for Sherman.
No.
I wouldn't know about that, but yes, I've heard it's not the proper place for that.
But it's got a beautiful view of downtown from, 18th in Boston. And, that's a great little, like, sort of place to go. You can start out at Mercury and end up at Mercury. Like,
people pull up in, like, old, like, 57 Chevys and Harley Davidsons, and it's just this. What's really funny, too, is, like, it's got this, it's like an old gas station or something. It's like it's got its own lot and everything.
An old gas station.
And then right across the street is, like, the wine bar, which is another great bar, but it's more high society or people of more of a
expensive
introvert nature, and it's like complete opposites, which I find really funny. And I've gone back and forth.
Mercury is
parts of my life.
I would call it a rockabilly bar, and
rockabilly.
They have all sorts of, like, from bluegrass to country to rockabilly to.
And what Joe said, there's a sign on stage that says if you play more than 3 cover songs, you're out. They kick you out.
Right, so it's good.
So they want original music. Yeah.
It does feel like
it's just like if you're coming, especially if you're coming out of town, you want to see something unique. Also, Route 66 Mercury Lounge is right up your alley. It's like an Austin type bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Number 5 is Fassler Hall, which is one of Elliot Nelson's
joints
down.
The Blue Dome.
It is in the Blue Dome, sort of North Blue Dome district on Elgin. That's right. And what's remarkable about this bar for me is their beer garden. This beautiful back patio.
It's huge.
It's massive and a beautiful view of downtown.
And what I also love about it is that it's an old garage again. There's a lot of old garages. I mean, even Arnie's
garage door.
Part of a garage thing. It's this big, like, arched room, and this is the brilliance behind this bar. They just threw some picnic tables in there, built a bar, and threw up a stage. And I've been in there where it's packed and people are dancing on it's like Oktoberfest all year round in Fassler Hall.
Yeah, that's
And the other cool thing about it is food. If you like your greasy food, they make their own sausage. You can actually watch them making it behind the bar. And then they have duck fat fries.
Oh, yeah, they're so good.
Or French fries fried in duck fat.
So delicious.
Not healthy.
But great.
God, is it good.
So good.
And we have a funny story. So when we were in Ireland in 2015, and it was like my birthday weekend in Cork City, we were a little jet lagged, but we were partying and we were powering through the first night, or the second night, I can't remember which one it was. And we find this little pub where they were playing jazz.
It's on Corn Market. It's called the Roundy.
Yeah, the Roundy, that's right. And one of the most coolest experiences, and there's a guy, this African American from, obviously America, playing the horn, the trumpet. He was amazing. This guy, we're at Fassler Hall, we're in that beer garden outside, he comes tearing through the door and he grabs me, he's like, you gotta see who's here! And he pulls me in, and it's that fucking guy we saw in Ireland, of all places, and he's from New York.
Yeah.
And he was playing with Count Tutu.
Yeah.
Aww.
So his name is Wade Tucker. He's a trumpet player. He went to NYU. And
Shocking.
And it was a magical night in Ireland. It was right after their
Drunken Uncle Magic.
That's right. And Cork has an annual jazz fest, which was one of the best times to go to Cork, and it's in July, I think. And we were there right after. So these guys were sort of, hangovers from that festival, and they just played this small group of friends, and so intimate and great. We have some footage that I'll put up here.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, back to Fassler, they have great beers, and they have huge steins. You can get full liters.
Yeah, full liter.
It's a beer hall.
Definitely, and worth the trip.
Yeah. All right. Number 4, Kilkenny's Irish Pub, Cherry Street in Tulsa. Maybe the greatest menu in Tulsa. The diverse menu. There's a lot of food on that menu.
And it's brilliant.
But it's been there since 2003, I want to say.
That's right.
And it was really kind of the beginning of a lot of the change that is happening in Tulsa that we witness today. But the bartenders are great, and when you stand in there in the right angle, and if it's a cloudy or rainy day and you're having a Guinness, you can look out and there's the Catholic school across with the spires and everything, and it feels a little like you're in Ireland.
It does.
The Irish music is playing.
It's got the sort of...
I'm so happy thinking about that. It's so cute.
I know, it does make us so happy, and it's got the sort of classic oak paneling, and it's a little bit dark in there, and it has the rich sort of maroons on the stools. They have stools like in an Irish pub. I find the decor a little kitschy, but it's still a pretty good rendition of
because it's kitschy because there's a company in Ireland, manufacturing in Ireland, that builds Irish pubs and sends you all the materials and you put it up.
Yeah, I've been to better Irish pubs in terms of decor, but in terms of food, no. And the bartender's amazing. Great selection of beers.
Yeah, we've met some of our best bartenders all through Tulsa have started at Kilkenny.
And it has the best selection of Irish whiskey in town, which is, important.
Absolutely. And I really love the late night menu. Mm-hmm. So if you're out partying and you need a $5 burger, that's the place to go.
Right?
Or fish and chips. That's right. And again, me with my day drinking. If it's a cold day, they have a fireplace in there too. But you'll sit down at that bar and there's always a group of people during the day drinking. So it's fun.
Yeah, and I would just add, it's packed during meal times. Like, you definitely want to get there a little early or call in. But it's been busy every night since 2003, which tells you they're doing a great business.
And holidays, forget about it. You need a reservation.
Yeah.
In that place.
Right. Love Kilkenny's. Good. Number 3 is Hodges Bend, which is a Parisian-style cafe located in the East End district of downtown Tulsa, and it's just one of the most intimate, cool.
It's maybe the coolest place.
It could be the coolest. It's decor, it's vibe.
Yeah, it's just a cool place.
Sometimes it's too cool for school.
Yeah, maybe sometimes, but a lot of I like the people that go there. Like right now, because we had other bars that could have gone on this list, but then lawyers and shit moved in and took over the place, and we know what we're talking about. And
it's not on our list.
Not on our list. Hodges clientele tends to be really cool. Tends to be really cool people.
Smart.
And also,
they
make the greatest Irish coffee outside of Ireland that I've had. It is unbelievably delicious.
And they have an amazing variety of coffees, from cold press to, from...
And they cut their own ice. That's the other thing they do. They sit there and they have actually video online. You can see them cutting their own ice. So you get a big giant square cube. You can say, do I want the smaller square or the larger square? So when I go get a Jameson, I'll say I'll take the small square, right? And then but it's still hand cut.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely a sort of drinky, craft cocktail kind of place. But they have jazz. They have a great patio, and to me, it's the place. It's the place I will meet a blind date, because you want to impress, you want it to be intimate.
If she can't handle Hodges,
right? Out.
The other really cool thing is some of the great bartenders were also there, and we lost some of them because they opened a new Hodges Ben's in Minneapolis, Minnesota, because an entrepreneur came down and had drinks and whatever there and said, I need to have this in my new building.
Yeah.
Boom, they opened a new one.
Yeah, and one of the owners also owns the patio at the Box Yard, which is just down the street. It's a little shopping mall and with a bar made out of boxcars from...
Tulsa's exploding.
It is. It's so great.
Does the Hodges owners also own boxcars?
Chip.
I didn't know Chip was a boxer.
Yeah. I neither. So that's not on the list, but it has a great view and it's sort of connected. Okay. Hodges.
Number 2. This was hard. You might say this is 1.2. I mean, 1A or however, or 1B.
Yeah, there should be a tie.
I am really struggling with this. But number 2 is the Cellar Dweller.
Oh, I can't wait to hear.
Now, let me tell you the story about the Cellar Dweller for those who have never been there. Back in the day, when we used to go, when we first started hanging out there in the early 2000s, before Google, the only way you could find this bar outside of blind luck is if someone took you there. Because they didn't advertise and you just didn't know about it. Now I think it is on Google. Like you can type in Tulsa Bars and I think it actually pops up.
I think you guys messed up. Cellar Dweller's number 1.
Hold on. You're number 1.
I mean, there's no shame in being number 2 because this is an amazing list. So
this is an amazing list.
So Cellar. The thing about Cellar Dweller is it is literally a cellar. So it's a speakeasy. You go in this sort of like office apartment building that was built in the 20s. You go down this little windy staircase and you're underground.
So cool.
And it's right. I mean, if it's right across from the Hyatt Regency downtown, or DoubleTree.
No, the Hyatt Regency.
No, it's not the Hyatt.
Is it
it is the DoubleTree. It's across the street from the DoubleTree, and so if you stay there, it's right across the street. And who you'll meet down there is maybe the best thing about this bar.
Yeah,
like there are characters who live around there. There's apartments all around. And so it has a very local vibe.
Yes.
Even though it's got this sort of, racy 1920s vibe, it is a very, you're going to meet regulars and locals, and the bartenders are so friendly.
Yeah, we have some of the best bartenders that are in the Cellar Dweller.
Yeah, and they give you such personal attention.
Yeah.
And
this was a tough one, man. He and I actually went back and forth on this, and it's our local at night. He and I, when it's a 10 o'clock call, when I get the 10 o'clock call from Grant, it's only the Cellar Dweller. And he doesn't even have to tell me. Yeah. He says, let's get a drink. And I'm like, okay. We're just going to get the I mean, it's already assumed that that's where we're going.
When other bars are just completely jam-packed, this one's just kind of simmering and getting ready to... Like, sometimes it'll explode. Like, you can go there late.
Place.
Yeah, it's
the first time I walk down there, and I always say that to anyone who's never been there, is like, it's almost like entering a David Lynch set on a movie. It's just so weird. It's got this red velvet curtain with all these kind of weird little knickknacks and kitschy shit all around.
Don't you fucking look at me.
Yeah. He's got these red chairs. Yeah. I mean, you go in and you're like, whoa. I mean, it can be a little scary if you didn't realize that it's actually a cool place. And then there's the whole back room that is extraordinarily dark. And you can have sex back there.
No.
Just saying.
And the number 1 bar in Tulsa that everyone should go to when they visit is the SoundPony. Yes, I mean...
Yeah, we love the SoundPony. This was a hard one. It was a hard juggle between Cellar Dweller and SoundPony, but we chose SoundPony because it was our local for so many years and still is. We go there all the time. When it's time for Grant and I and our friends to call in like a happy hour beer, it's almost always the SoundPony.
And let me just say, I don't think it's that hard to make this number 1 for a lot of reasons. And when I start thinking about it, then it just starts to like separate itself. And it's good in the afternoon. It's good late at night with live music. Some of the most cutting edge bands from around the country and the region go through there. For the bartenders, for the prices. For the prices, like you can.
Oh shit,
man!
Forget about it. Well, Cellar is cheap too, but
not as cheap as it.
But they have a better selection at the SoundPony. You can get a great pint of IPA there for $5.
Yeah, incredible back deck that has an amazing view of downtown.
And then there's Josh and Mike.
Yeah.
So 2 lads that we love that always welcome us with open arms every time we walk in that door. And it's just a great community that they've built. It's not just So it's not just the bar; it's the community that surrounds the bar, and there's so many people that love that place. Bikes hanging off the wall. It's a madhouse of a place. The bathrooms are notoriously disgusting and wild and crazy. It's true.
It's true.
If I was a woman, I don't know if I'd want to squat in there.
You do everything you can and all after there.
Exactly. Yeah, it's tough.
Let me just also add that every celebrity in town, every band that plays the large arena in town, every band that plays Canes ends up at the SoundPony. They heard somehow through the grapevine that this is... It's not as much.
We've got the Black Keys at SoundPony.
I had a 3-hour conversation with the guys in Gal and Yola Tango, which was amazing. We just talked about everything. They're super smart dudes and people and kids.
We met people from Germany the other day. We were dressed up as an astronaut for Count Tutu was playing.
Yeah.
And come on, some of my great nights of all nights are at the SoundPony.
And if you really, this is the thing. If somebody asked me if you could only go to one place, if you only have one 3-hour window to go to one bar in Tulsa, I would say the SoundPony.
Yeah,
that's the separator.
I would too.
Right.
I think that's true. I think it's absolutely true.
The locals in there, the people,
and it beats all the bars around there. Like if you look at the bars around the SoundPony, I won't say them by name. The SoundPony kicks their ass.
Yeah.
It's not even close. And there's food trucks always swarming around there, so you can get food and you can eat it right at the bar.
Yeah. So there you go.
So we love the SoundPony. I agree. Yeah, number 1.
Yeah. Top 10 bars in Tulsa.
Come down and join us. I'll go out with you.
I love the top 3, really, when I'm thinking about back on your list, those top 3 are legit, and it really is a matter of what you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Between those top 3, those are number 1s in each their own category.
True.
That's true.
Well put.
Those are apples and oranges.
It's a no-lose situation.
What a luxury to have choice like that. You know, that's a great thing about Tulsa. Yeah, I think it's a little Austin right now. It's a little baby Austin coming out. It's just learning to walk. It's just time to walk. All right, babies, grow up so fast.